Hi, my name is Maria, and today I'd like to show you how I made this cute little Easter basket from a mini paper pumpkin box. Isn't it a cute little thing? Anyway, I made it for an Easter project. I know it's early, but I couldn't resist. When I had the idea, I wanted to get going on it. Now here is the box without anything in it so that you can actually see the dimensions, the little wheels on it and the handle. And like I said, it's made from a mini paper pumpkin box, which is in the current catalog. Now, the box has two sides. One side is shiny, so it makes it more waterproof. The other side is matte, and so I would suggest if you're going to put any food or that in it, that the shiny side be on the inside. Now, the one thing that you're going to need to do to alter this box is to cut the lid off first. And to do that, you can use an X-Acto knife, you can use a scissors, you can use anything sharp, but be careful you don't cut your fingers. Now I'm bringing in my trusty trimmer, and that gives me a nice clean cut. So the secret in making this Easter basket from the mini paper pumpkin box, first thing you have to do is cut the lid off. Now the lid you can discard or you can save it for another project. The remainder of the paper pumpkin box, you need to fold and form it into a box. Now here, a bone folder would be helpful. But honestly, that's one of my tools that I have a hard time keeping track of. Don't ask me why, but I'm doing the best I can here with my fingers. Bone folder would help. But you can see that you need to fold the creases first. Now, you don't need any adhesive to make this box. You can see that I'm bending everything at the folds. And at the end, you just hold the two ends and fold the flaps over, tuck it in the ends, do the same on the other side, and you have the base box for the Easter wagon. There we go. It's a nice sturdy little box. Now before we go any further, I have some designer paper that I have pre-cut. I will put all the dimensions down in the description below. And this is the designer paper, the Subtles designer paper, the Highland Heather color. It's one of the Easter colors. And I'm going to use the new tape runner, and I do love it. The thing is, you've got to make sure that the refill in there is full. Anyway, it worked okay on one side, and I do love it. It works great. But like I said, you need to make sure that there is tape in it. Because when I went to use it on the other side, well, you'll see in a minute, I could have edited it out, but I thought, no, this is what happens to a lot of people when they're doing a project. Here I am, confident that my tape runner is going to work. All right, I try it. Because that's usually the trick, is that you try to move the tape forward. Nope, it's not working. Oh dear. Well, rather than throwing the towel in, I'll just try it one more time. Nope. Okay. Thing to be learned here is have a backup glue. And my backup is always Tombow adhesive. Now you'll see that I keep my Tombow. You'll see the lid sitting in what looks like a lid. It is a lid. What I've done is I've hot glued the lid of the Tombow into an embellishment lid, and then my Tombow glue is ready to go. Now I'm going to put the wheels on. Now I have pre-punched all of the elements of the wheels, and again I'll put the dimensions in the description below. I've cut these wheels out of the big ones anyway, out of the cardstock you get in the designer paper pack. And yeah, so that, or you can cut it out of any cardboard that you have. And like I said, I've used punches. If you have dies, you can use them. Or if you don't have either, you can take anything that is round, like the bottom of a glass, and trace it and cut it out. Or you can make square wheels. It doesn't matter. But for the white part, the big part of the wheels, I punched 2 of the cardboard pieces. Each wheel will have 2, and that gives a little bit of a more of a sturdy wheel. So there I'm putting combo between the 2 larger circles, and like I said, that gives it a little bit more of a sturdy wheel. So now I used a 1 3/4 inch circle punch for the big, for these circles that you see me putting together. And the next layer is going to be, she'll show you in a minute, the basic black one. And again, it's die cut out of a 1 3/8 inch circle punch. And I punched out 4 of them. And again, we'll put them on the wheels in a similar manner. Now, like I said, if you don't have punches, you can use a die, and they don't have to be those measurements. You can make them any measurement that you like. You don't even have to put wheels on the wagon. Now, what's a wagon without wheels? I don't know, but if you choose not to, you don't have to. It's only a suggestion. And again, like I said, I used punches, but if you have dies, you can use those as well. Now, there is another 2 layers on the wheels. The next layer is the designer paper. This time, I'll turn the designer paper over because the other side of it, like all of our Stampin' Up! Designer papers have 2 sides. The other side we used on the front and back of the wagon. This one has little circles on it, and that kind of reminds me of Easterr, and it also reminds me of a wagon wheel. So that's why I chose that pattern to put on the wheel. So we're almost done, the last wheel, and then before we put the handle on, I almost forgot, we're going to put the center circle on. Now this particular one, you can omit this step, but I'm kind of a fussy person, and I think it looks nice with a smaller circle in the center. I used a 1 inch circle punch for this one. If you have a smaller one, a 3 inch circle punch, you can use that as well. And again, if you don't have any punches or dies, you can use whatever you can to draw a circle and cut it out. Now we're going to try and put these wheels on the base of the wagon. And what I'd suggest you do is, you're going to put them on the sides, obviously, is lay them on, whoop, dropped out of my hands, lay them on the base, just kind of see where you like them. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of screen here. And then take a pencil and mark where the wheel is going to be positioned on the box. There we go. You can see me a little bit better now. Okay. And yeah, you also want to make sure that when you put the wheels on, that they are the same. The amount of the wheels above and below the basket are the same. Now, what I suggest is you put the Tombow or your favorite adhesive on the wagon rather than on the wheel. Sometimes if you put it on the wheel, you end up getting more adhesive on than you want, and then you've got sticky stuff all over the place. So that pencil mark was used as a guide as to how to put the wheels on. Now there's a little sticky thing right there, and it won't come off. So anyway, I got it off later, and I had to use my my picky tool for that. Okay. Now it'll take not very long to dry, but we'll just set the wagon aside to dry before we put the other wheels on. So now we'll take the handle and put it on. Now the handle is also cut from a piece of the same cardstock that we used for the wheels. Now it's 10 inches long. The designer paper is 6 inches long. So I did cut a strip of designer paper, but I had to cut 2 of them. So I just laid one in the center, and then the second one, I overlaid it a little bit on the first one, just like that. So I put a little bit of adhesive Tombow glue on the back, and then laid it on to the middle of the handle. Like I said, it's 10 inches long. And now we'll get, and rather than, pre-cut the size, trying to measure it and fit, I just used the entire strip, didn't put glue on the whole thing, and just laid it, overlapped it a bit, and then laid it on the rest of the handle. And now I'll take my trusted paper snips. Whoops, got a little bit of glue on there, a little bit too much, and then I'll snip it off the end. That way you don't need to worry about, did I measure it correctly, did I not? Now here again is where the bone folder would have come in handy, because I always like the handle to be curved. And I'll take the bone folder and just curve it along the bottom, just to give that handle a bit of a curve. If you don't have a bone folder, you can't find yours, like I can't find mine, you can use the scissors, a pencil, a pen. You can even use your glue bottle if you want. Anything that's firm, you can use that to give that curve in your handle. Now, we're going to attach the handle using brads, and so you're going to need to punch a hole in both ends of the handle. You're also going to need to punch a corresponding hole in between the wheels on the wagon, because that's where the handle will be attached. Now I'm only going to punch in one side right now because I don't have the wheels on yet, and I want to make sure that they're on first before I punch a hole. So I'm going to put the handle aside for now, and we're going to add the other 2 wheels. Now again, we'll lay them on the side, and we'll try to make them look like the wheels on the other side. Match them up as close as we can. Again, we'll use a pencil to mark where the wheels are going to be. Put some glue on the wagon itself. Now, if you feel comfortable putting it right on the wheels, that's fine. I just find this a little less messy. And there, we'll gently put the wheels on, and again, make sure that the wheel above and below the cart is about the same, that the wheels are even, because if they're not, then you're going to put the wagon down, it's going to tilt to one side. So that's looking pretty good. Yeah, okay, you're being a bit fussy there, but fussy is good, right? Okay, I think she's happy with that now. So let's get this, punch another hole, and we'll get the handle on, and we'll get this wagon rolling. Now, when you're putting the ends of the handle in, put it on the inside of the wagon and match up the holes. These are the little brads that I'm using. You can use any brads that you like. I like a little bling, so I use rhinestone brads, but if you don't have them, that's fine. Just use whatever you have. If you decide not to use brads, if you don't have them, you can use hot glue, or you can use Tombow if you like to adhere them. So here we're matching the holes, and we're going to put the brad in through the hole first. They're tiny little things sometimes, and sometimes if your hands are sore, they're really hard to put in. But yeah, I struggle with them sometimes, but once you get them in, there we go. Okay, there. Oh, got it. Okay, I got it. Now we'll put the other side in. And like I said, you can use hot glue if you like, or Tombow. Just make sure that you leave it to dry a little while if you use Tombow, because the glue won't set right away. So I think this one might be a little bit easier to put in. But There we go. That was easier. Okay, now your wagon is done. There we go. We've got a box that was a mini paper pumpkin box that was converted, adapted, altered, whatever you want to call it. We're going to put some grass in there. Now, I've got multicolored grass. You can put whatever color you want. Put your eggs in. Now, I would assume you want to put chocolate eggs in there. I covered these eggs in glitter. They're styrofoam eggs. And then after I finished, you can make an embellishment. Here I've got a stick with a point at one end. And I stamped a bunny, an Easter bunny, cut it out and put it at the top of the stick, stamped Happy Easter, and put a ribbon at the bottom. And that is the wagon. It's a very easy project to make.